Welcome. What's happening? You's alright? You's having a nice time? Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year to all my lovely Monday Madness listeners out there. Cheers. What's happening? And also, I thought I'd just, you've probably noticed, there are those of you that listen to the majority of you are on Spotify and Google Podcasts and all these things listening to this show. But for those of you that are on YouTube, you've probably noticed a couple things. One thing is that I'm trapped in a tiny box and I'm surrounded by a really cool looking border that goes all the way around. It's got the artwork done by Fraser all the way around. Fraser Anderson, credit that boy. It's got everywhere you can listen to. It's got my Instagram there. It's really quite creative. I'm quite impressed with it. So fabulous. So, and also to kick off season 2 of the Monday Madness, there is a brand new YouTube channel specifically for it. Yes, it is here. A YouTube channel where all the episodes will go up here. Now, I just want to say straight away, first off, for the video versions when I'm on my own, there will be like a video. For the ones where I have a guest, I don't use Zoom for the things. I use another website to get guests on, where it doesn't have video, but the sound's much clearer. So for guests, I'll still have it up here, but it will probably just be pictures or maybe just me or like our headshots or something, and you'll hear the sound and there'll be stuff flashing up on the screen. To keep you interested. But yeah, just a word of warning, just to say that when there is a guest right now, there won't be a video version because it takes away from the audio if I use Zoom, even on mine, even with the mic. But does that mean I have a guest coming soon? Yes. So happy days. So today I thought I'd have a wee discussion today. If you're new here, how on earth did you find this? We have like no subscribers. How have you done that? You've probably searched up Angry Joe or something real, and all of a sudden you've found this random Scottish kid talking about the Avengers or something. That was happened. Well, hi, nice to meet you. I'm Ross. This is the best podcast of all mankind. Thank you very much. So today, I think we're going to be talking about, The Witcher Season 2. I'm going to be talking about that, and I'm also going to be talking about the big sexy Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm late, yes, but I wanted to make sure, give a few weeks before everybody's seen it, so I can talk freely. There will be spoilers for both things, as much as I can remember anyway. So if you don't want any spoilers or anything, leave, please. If you don't mind, then stay and have a blast. So let's kick off with it. Let's go. So yeah. Subscribe and all that. I don't even need to tell you that. That's a genius. Like, it's all the way around. How cool is this border, by the way? How cool is that? Nice, innit? Very nice. But, let's get on with it. So, The Witcher Season 2. The Witcher Season 2. It aired. It's sort of vaguely inspired by this book here. Blood of Elves. This is the thing. If you're a book reader, I'm 100 pages into this and I stopped reading it. I forgot, right? And even I knew straight away. I went, this isn't the book. What? What's going on? Sure enough, yeah. As I get further through, I'm going to realise that no, it's nothing like the book at all. Because that's all I see. Apparently the book readers are not too pleased with it. Some of them are saying, yeah, it's different. It's different for the book. What? And they're all losing their crazy minds, all their lovely crazy minds, and that's fair enough, I suppose. I've never seen anything distance themselves from the book as much as that. However, first of all, let's just talk about The Witcher, right? Season 2. The first thing I would say is the most important thing on everyone's mind is that Triss is ginger. Hey, they made a ginger. Well done, Netflix. Hey, you did it. You made a ginger. You gave her ginger hair. Wow, and a green outfit. I can't believe it. It's Christmas, is it? Wow. I can't believe that. I cannot believe that, Netflix. Congratulations. And Anna Schaefer, you're a great Triss. Now that we've seen you in the Triss stuff, and you look more like Triss, you're a good Triss. Very good actress. Well done. Fantastic stuff. The number one gripe for season 1 has been fixed. There is no longer a bad, non-looking Triss. There is only Triss Merigold now. And it is great. I am very pleased with that. I'm very happy. Thanks, Netflix, for making us happy. But everything else in the book, changed, eh? I think they changed it a little bit. I think a few things are not quite how the book readers. Now, I'm just saying, I am only 100 pages through Blood of Elves. However, I will say this. I still really liked this series. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great show. For a start, the best thing about it is gamers of The Witcher 3 days, yeah? They took so much inspiration for creature design and set design and costume design for this season. And it's pulled right out The Witcher 3. Like Geralt's costume when he's hooded up, when he's got the hood, it's literally his costume from that opening cinematic sequence from Wild Hunt. If you've never seen that, it's epic. It's very good. You know the one. He's cloaked over and his eyes are like more yellow. Like they've saturated them a bit more. And I like that. Makes him look more like a cat. Or a wolf, I guess. A wolf, innit? He's supposed to be a wolf. And yeah, it's very good. It's very good. I enjoyed it. So let's try remember every episode. No chance. I'll remember the first one. The first episode. So let's talk about... I really liked that. It was like a twisted version of Beauty and the Beast. So they had Geralt of Rivia and Ciri. He's got her now. They're together and he's like, right, you do as you're told. See when there's a big dangerous monster, you don't go and touch it, right? And she's like, okay, Dad. And what does she do? Oh, she becomes friends with that monster, does she? So you've got the guy from Game of Thrones, and Neville. Yeah. He's like a beast. He's a monster. He's been cursed by a priestess to live alone, like a monster. And he's so ugly, no one will ever love him again because he's a monster, right? You get it? So he's been cursed. But why was he cursed? You never quite mentioned that earlier on in the episode, but it gets revealed there later on at the end, and you're like, right. And I have to say, Mr. Game of Thrones, you did a great job. Lovely stuff. He was very good. I enjoyed it. His performance, he was very comedic, very funny as the monster. And then when he's out the monster, when the curse is lifted, he gets all dark and Shakespearean and then ruins your day. Because when he tells you, oh wait, he's more of a monster when he's not a monster, when he's a human. So maybe that Bruxa was onto something. Maybe that was a little Easter egg. Maybe that was a little hint to what was coming next. You get what I'm saying, guys? Yeah. Oh, voice crack. So yes, I overall really, really enjoyed The Witcher Season 2. First episode was great. Second episode, there was a controversial moment for some people in episode 2. Right? There was a moment. A certain Eskel, who's a major part in the books and the games, was killed off in the first episode. So straight away, that's quite a ballsy move, right? And to be honest, like, I wasn't really captivated by Eskel in the show anyway. I wasn't quite. He was like the Team America one that just doesn't like Ciri because she's new. And he doesn't like the newcomer. She's like, I hate you. Bleh. And he turns out a monster, a big tree monster, and dies. Because Geralt's like, he's about to kill Vesemir, who's also in this show. Vesemir's here. Very good. We like Vesemir. He's the guy that's in Killing Eve is playing him. Perfect casting. He looks exactly like Vesemir. It's perfect, actually. And obviously Yennefer as well. Here's the thing. There is like 2 stories going on here at once, but they're all interlinked and they come together at the end. So you've got the Geralt Ciri stuff, And then you've got the Yennefer stuff, what she's getting up to. And then you get the elf stuff as well. Because there's elves here, right? And one of them gets pregnant and is having the first elf baby ever in like thousands and thousands of years, you know? And they've never had children, but this time it's happening. So they're all like, right, we need to... And, yeah, and, you know, they move in with Nilfgaard, and they're all like, yeah, we like the elves. We love the elves. You're great. And then they turn on them at the end, and then are evil. You know, big Emperor Emir ain't happy about that. So, Fringilla, that's it, Fringilla. She sort of befriends them. Remember her, the evil witch from the first season, where they humanise her a bit and you realise, oh no, she's not really evil. She's not evil, she's actually quite nice. You know, she's quite friendly. We were just on the opposite side the whole time. They sort of made Nilfgaard the villains, but really, they're not really the villains. They're not really, they're just the villains to Ciri at the time of first season. But they're not trying to kill her, you see. They're not trying to kill her. As you find out at the end, because there's a very large spoiler that happens at the end. I'm not even going to say what it is. In fact, yeah, it's a spoiler. It's alright. So you find out at the very end that Emperor Emir is Ciri's dad. What? Whoa! Didn't see that coming. I haven't played the games. Jeez. What a twist, eh? What a twist. Now, here's the thing. I actually did catch me by surprise. Because I actually started to think, for some reason, that Dooney and Emir were, like, different. I thought Dooney was, like the stepdad secretly, but her biological father's Emir. I thought it was that. I didn't actually realise they were the same person. So that was that. I still caught me by surprise. I'm not totally expert on everything. So you still got me a little bit with that. I didn't realise it was him, the same dude, the hedgehog guy. Didn't realise that. So that was good. Well done. I didn't see that coming at all. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, what did I think of everyone? Ciri is phenomenal in this show. Ciri is great. Freya Allen, that's your name. I remembered that straight away. Very good. Yep. That is the perfect casting in this show, I think. Ciri. Perfect. She's exactly like her. She's perfect. I've played that game and she gets it. She gets it right. She never gives up. She never gives up, and she's tough and she's cocky and a bit cheeky and a bit sarcastic. Like that scene, right? The scene where she's in that temple of Nanek or whatever. Is it Nanek or whatever she is? She's in that temple. And she's basically hanging about. And there's this guy that she's speaking to, the wee geek, that keeps like getting himself into an awkward position because he keeps saying rude things and he doesn't mean it. And the way she is, kind of like joking with him, kind of ha ha ha. That's exactly how she is with the guy in The Witcher 3. You know, the horse mission, the one where she's staying with that family. You know, the scene in the spa, you know, after that, and she meets, like, the guy, and she gets in with this, like, I don't know, he's like a little country guy in Skellig or whatever. Remember that guy? It's the exact same. It's the same. It's the same. She acts the exact same way. She's like, oh, you fancy me, what? She's, like, taking the mick as well. You know, she's a bit sarcastic and funny. Because we didn't get to really see that first season. She just ran about screaming in the woods all the time. But this time it's like, oh, right. Nice, Ciri, nice, good. What else happened in The Witcher Season 2? What else happened in The Witcher Season 2? That is a good question. Let's find out. Geralt, now, was there a sword fight or any fight in this show better than the Season 1, Episode 1 sword fight in Blaviken? Not quite. There's one that's getting there. There's one, I think it's Episode 6, where he's fighting the three brothers, in the fire, and it's just you just watch Geralt tear these guys up for like 2 minutes, and he's like using the slow motion when he punches, and then the tooth's flying out, all that cool stuff. That was really cool. I really liked that fight. That was a proper big fight. That he was like, he didn't even have a weapon. He didn't have a weapon. He was disarmed the whole time. He's still done them. And that was fantastic. Very good. We enjoyed that. And what else happened in this magnificent series? Well, I'll tell you, viewers. I'll tell you in a second. because there was a lot of monsters. The effects were much better this season. You can tell Netflix ramped up the budget a wee bit this time. The effects, like for Eskel as the Lecce, was like photorealistic at times. That was so good when you saw his face. It looked like a model. It looked like a mix of like, it looked like really advanced practical effects. Like for a second, it was phenomenal, and like the close-ups of his face, it looked so like realistic. And all the monsters look better as well. Like that big centipede thing that kills the Lecce in episode 3. That sneaks up. It's like a big centipede thing. I don't know what it's called. And it's got like a goat's head or something. And it's like possessed and like mutated. And you also get to see the Wild Hunt. The Wild Hunt are here. They're coming. Do you not know who the Wild Hunt are? Well, if you play The Witcher 3 and you'll find out. Right, wait for that boss fight. You wait for that boss fight with Imrelith, whatever his name is. The big one with the big like swinging thing. That'll take me half an hour. So yeah. And they look great. Very game-like. Not quite as... I hope that when we see them, they're really tall. They have to be like 7 foot. Like, they have to be massive. And this is the thing that I love about The Witcher. Even though Geralt's the main part, he's out his depth this entire time in The Witcher. He's completely out his depth. Yeah, he's mutant. Yeah, he can fight monsters. But now he's dealing with... Like, Yennefer's more powerful than Geralt. And all the sorceresses. They're more powerful than him. They could take him out quick. And the Wild Hunt and all these things and all these monsters that he doesn't know what they are. And Ciri's power levels beyond even Yennefer's. So it's like, he's sort of looking after her. But you're starting to realise that, no, you need help, mate. You need help. You can't do this on your own. Even if you're Geralt of Rivia, you ain't got a chance in hope in hell. You get what I'm saying? To do this. And it's just, yeah. It's just one of those things. And it's really exciting. They nailed that in this season. That he's starting to come to terms with, oh, I might need help here. I might my depth help. Ciri? What? You're like some possessed... Oh. Someone's speaking. Somebody's speaking there. But yes. But we enjoyed The Witcher. We liked it. It was good. What else? And I really, really liked it. And it was great. It was smashing. And I'm a big, massive fan of it. So what would I rate it? What would I rate each episode? I think the best episode... hang on, let me fix that a little bit. So, I'd say the best episode for me was... I really liked the finale. It was scaled down a bit. It was better than Wheel of Time. Nothing to do with anything. That was rotten. I was bored at the end anyway. So the last episode, it just didn't do it for me. Whereas this one did, which was great. I was hooked at the entire time. So it was very, it was just simple stuff, simple storyline, really. But it was great. It was great. When Ciri gets possessed by the witch, the sorceress, in the hut with legs, the Baba Yaga. That's what fans. That's exactly what she is as well. It's the Netflix, the showrunner said it. That she's a Baba Yaga, so inspired thing, the witch. And you find out the twist there that she's not really trying to kill them. She's not trying to kill anyone, really. That's not her main goal. Her main goal is she's just trying to get home to her realm, and she knows that Ciri is the way to do that. So so the elf gets pregnant, and Yennefer loses her power, and all this happens just to get enough pain, and then because she feeds off pain of the living things or whatever, and that is the thing that, like, she gets that, and she makes them all sad, and that gives her enough power, and then she gets to Ciri, and then she knows that Ciri can break the monolith, and then she could go back to her realm, which happens to be where the Wild Hunt is. Now that's not very good for old Geralt, I tell you. They're a bit out their depth this time. With the Wild Hunt, they're quite big and scary things riding on horses in the sky. And they're here, and they've got a big, scary, deep voice, so you know they're mean. and they're here to tear everybody up. And it's going to be fantastic. So there we go. Very exciting. Very exciting. So what did you think of The Witcher Season 2? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a great time? If you didn't, why not? Was it because it wasn't like the book? Oh well, it's that time. And yes, that is absolutely fantastic. Cheers. Let's move on to topic number 2. Our next topic today is about a movie that came out recently. A little movie called Spider-Man. And it blew everyone out of the water. It's without question one of the greatest things I've ever seen at the cinema first time. It's just such a great thing. Do I go into spoilers? Yes, I do. So I think overall, you know it's good because even the critical drinker liked this film. He recommended it. If you don't know who he is, you need to YouTube this guy. He's the best, Scotland's best YouTuber. Yeah, he's got a phenomenal guy. Really funny. And so even he liked it. So that's when you know, like, Sony, Marvel, you've smashed this, guys. It's the most comic book Spider-Man movie I think I've ever seen. In fact, it was the first time I've been fully satisfied with a Spider-Man movie. First time seeing it since Spider-Man 2. I was 6 when I saw that. It's been a while. It's been a long time. I mean, I liked them all, but I wasn't full on, like, blown away. This is the first time when I came out that cinema, I was a Spider-Man fan again. And it really felt like Spider-Man was taking back his title as the number 1 superhero in the world. That's what it felt like. It felt like Spider-Man came back in style and reminded Marvel fans and everyone that he's the top dog. It just felt like that. It felt bigger than the Avengers. It was just Spider-Man on his own with these villains. It was just fantastic. I really enjoyed it. There's even without the special appearances, and even without that, it's still a great movie. You could change the actors. You can make it that it's just a new version of the Green Goblin, a new version of Doc Ock. The story's still great, you know, on its own. The film's still great without that. It's just a big bonus that Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina turn up and just start tearing everybody up. It's great. And the lizard's in it. He looks a bit better. He's still not. I prefer the lizard. I still prefer the lizard to have the lizard snout, like the dinosaur head. Like, yeah, it's still too round for me. And I know in the original comic he was more of a round head, but I like the more like monstrous kind of crocodile head and the big lab coat. That stuff's still missing for me, but you're still great. You're still good. Sandman was great, obviously. I like Sandman. He's one of my favourites. He's so good and he's so strong as well. And I love that they said that he was the one that didn't really want to do any harm to anybody, but he was secretly the most powerful of the 5. He's strong as can be. You know, at the end he started containing Electro. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, it was great, and obviously, but the start of the show was Willem Dafoe as the Goblin. He was just spectacular. He was phenomenal. He gave one of the best performances, and everyone keeps saying, "Oh yeah, he should be the next Joker. He should be the next Joker." Nah, mate. He's the Goblin. He's the Green Goblin. That's it. You know, he doesn't. Not every creepy actor has to be the Joker. You know. I think it's better that he's you know, the Goblin's his character, you know, and he did something. He played the Goblin just as iconic as Heath Ledger played his Joker or Joaquin Phoenix. Anyone. It was just as good as the Joker. He doesn't have to play the Joker though, because then he's just doing the same thing, isn't he? Because like, there's no point. There's no point. I mean, he'd be great at it, but I just think we've seen it already. We've seen him as the Goblin. He's ours, DC. He's ours. He's a Goblin. And that's it. And the Green Goblin, I've always preferred the Green Goblin as a villain over the Joker anyway. I think, yeah, there's similarities, but he's actually powerful and poses a threat to somebody. He's smart, and he's super strong, and he's got bombs and stuff. He flies about in a glider. It's ace. And so, yeah, we enjoyed Willem Dafoe smashing it, as always. Smashing, stealing the show. Great stuff. And also, I've got a little Daredevil piggy bank just staring me down in the eye just now. So that reminds me, oh yeah, Matt Murdock turned up from Netflix. Charlie Cox as Daredevil totally turned up in this film. And it was so good. It was for a solid minute. And he wasn't just there, he actually did something quite Daredevil-like. He did something pretty superhuman as well. And that's when he caught the brick. He catches the brick that's coming in the window. He's not even looking at it. He catches it like, and he goes, I'm a really good lawyer. And then the scene ends. Just, that's all you need. That's all we need. Even Spider-Man's like, how'd you do that? He went, I'm a really good lawyer. Even Spider-Man's like, what? How'd you do that? He's like, because he's Daredevil, mate. He's just as fast as you, mate. He's like you. So that was good. I enjoyed that. And what else happened? Tom Holland, you smashed it, boy. You're a great Spider-Man. Now, see your suit at the end. See the suit at the end. The costume at the end. Spectacular. That is the best Spider-Man suit in live action we've ever seen. The suit at the end when he swings off. He's in the Steve Ditko, John Romita classic, red and blue from the comics. We've finally seen it. It took 20 years. It took 20 years, but we finally got the real comic accurate Spider-Man costume. And they made it all glossy and the blue was like reflecting the light. Lovely. Love it. Loved it. Perfect Spider-Man. And I saw a thing where somebody would have taken pictures, which is a bit cheeky, or filmed it or whatever, of the cinema screen. And they took, and they freezed it. They got pictures of the suit. And they saw the face. And it's so Alex Ross. The face. They've nailed it. They absolutely nailed it. It's so cool looking and just simple. And Tom Holland, that's his absolute best performance as Peter Parker / Spider-Man in the MCU so far. Because for a start, this felt like a Spider-Man movie. For the first time in MCU, this felt like a Spider-Man movie. It didn't feel like he was just... Because I've kind of liked it, because I've always been a massive Spider-Man fan. And I've liked Tom Holland, but I've never 100% been totally blown away by everything. But coming out of this, I was a Spider-Man fan again. I was a massive Spider-Man fan again after I came out of this. I was totally like, that's it. That's Spider-Man. That's what we want. And it was spectacular. And it was really good to watch. And he absolutely smashed it. The action scenes were superb. They were more minimal. They were minimalistic. There wasn't as much stuff happening that went, whoa, like blew you away, that Spider-Man did. But the fight at the end, the fight with Goblin in the apartments, where he's smashing them through all the floors, like wrestling moves. That's the first time. My biggest criticism of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films, it's always been simple stuff. It's just there isn't enough hand-to-hand combat. He hasn't been in a real fight yet. You get to see him dodge all the drones and that. That's ace to watch, but he still hasn't been in a full-on fist fight yet. With a villain. And up steps the Goblin, who just tears him to bits in the flat, destroys him, humiliates him, absolutely smashes him up. And that just blew me away. That blew me away seeing that. I was so impressed with what I was seeing. It was absolutely magnificent, that fight. It was just so... There wasn't... Just watching the Goblin again. And it's just the first time we've seen the... I know it's Willem Dafoe, and we're getting to see him again. But it's also... We're getting to see the Green Goblin in a Spider-Man movie after 20 years. Arguably his arch nemesis ever. We're finally seeing him done properly back in a Spider-Man movie. Take out Willem Dafoe there. Just the Green Goblin as the main villain in a Spider-Man movie. That's it. I'm sold. He's the number one. He's the worst. He's the worst of the lot. And it's just spectacular to watch. Because Spider-Man, the only way he can beat Goblin is if he gets really angry and is trying to kill him. And if he holds back, he's not going to do it. Spider-Man always holds back. He never wants to kill the villains he's fighting against if he really doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. And the Goblin's the one that's like, nah, if you want to beat me, you've got to. Because he is trying to kill Spider-Man. you know. So he's putting that bit more effort into his punches and that, you know. So yes, absolutely phenomenal stuff. And is there something I'm forgetting? I'm forgetting something that happened in Spider-Man. What was it? Ah, yes. Andrew Garfield showed up in that film, didn't he? Ah, and so did Tobey Maguire. They both turned up. What? Yeah, as in the other two Peter Parker Spider-Men from cinema before Tom. All three of them teamed up against the Sinister Five. It was fantastic. We loved it. We loved watching it. And it was great to watch. It was a lot of great action. And all three of them had really, really good chemistry together. Thank God for that. Thank goodness. Just by chance, they could have like been so bored working with each other. It's so hard to just bounce off, you know. It's so easy to, you know, when the scene's just not working. Yeah, the chemistry's just not there. How it affects everything, you know. But this time, there's no need to worry about that. Absolutely no need to worry about that. Because they had chemistry together. And they got on. And you could tell they were having fun being there. And they were putting everything into that performance. And they were having the time of their lives. And it was so great to watch. And also, I'm just saying it now, Tobey Maguire will always be Spider-Man to me. Right? Tobey Maguire is my childhood Spider-Man. For me, he's my favourite still. So I was most excited to see him again. If he was in it. I was just, the idea of seeing Tobey Maguire Spider-Man again was blowing me away. But, coming out that thing, I went, yeah, Peter Parker Tobey Maguire played it exactly the way he should. Just the kind of awkward, a bit kind of calmer, a bit more contained Parker, you know. That's how his version was. But the winner of the movie, for me, was Andrew Garfield. I thought Andrew Garfield smashed it in that movie. I thought he acted the life out of it. You could tell all of them loved being there. You could see he was really putting in the work. His acting chops into all the scenes he was in. You know, and he was really going for it and having fun with it. You know, and he was so, like, when they're doing the Peters, he's like, Peter 1, Peter 2, he's like, Peter 3! You know, he's just playing the humour perfectly. And he just nailed, to me, he just nailed being Spider-Man. It was so nice to see him. Spider-Man again, he was just having fun with it. And he was getting so many laughs. And he was getting all the jokes in there, you know. He stole the show, really. And now there's rumours that they're going to bring him back for Amazing Spider-Man 3, and that he's going to be the Spider-Man in the Venom stuff and the Morbius stuff. Which, yes, do that, please. We'll love it. Because, you know, maybe some of you are like, oh, it's kind of confusing having more than one Spider-Man at the same time. And it's like, in a way, yes, it could be, but at the same time, that happened in the comics. Back in the day, there was more than one storyline of Spider-Man going on. You had the Web of Spider-Man, you had the Amazing Spider-Man, you had the Spectacular Spider-Man, you had Tom McFarlane's Spider-Man, and all these things. You know, you had so much Spider-Man series going on. You had the team-ups, you had all this. So there was always more than one storyline. You know, other writers and artists would get a chance to take Spider-Man for a spin with their own stories and things. And that would be really cool to see happen in the movies. Because to see, you know, maybe a darker, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Because we'll all love it. Because Andrew Garfield is a really, really good Spider-Man. It's just he didn't have the good writing or movies around it. Having said that, the first one's immense. I've always loved the first one. The second one is good. But it's not great. It's kind of, I don't rush back to watch it again. But the first one, I've always really enjoyed the first one. The first Amazing Spider-Man, I've always really liked that. I think that's really held up. And obviously the Lizard is the villain. But something else that I really liked is that there's a moment where Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's fighting the Lizard. And that's just something that we never saw. And they built it up. I think it was the Lizard, wasn't it? The Lizard was going to be, at some point, a villain. Obviously Dr. Connors was in it the whole time. And I always remember just going, that's the Lizard. Dr. Connors, that's the Lizard. The Lizard's one of my favourites because he's a big monster. And it was just nice to see Doc Connors, you know, as the Lizard fighting Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, because I waited to see that for so long and it never happened. And I'm pretty sure it was at one point. He was going to be the villain in the fourth one or something. He was going to be the villain. And then it got cancelled. So it was finally good to see Tobey Maguire taking on the Lizard 1-to-1. I was like, hey, finally, you did it. But yeah, it was a great film. It blew me away. Smashed it, Sony and Marvel. And it was great. Loved it. And amazing things are coming the way of Andrew Garfield. And possibly Tobey Maguire as well. They might bring him back. Possibly. But I hope they bring Andrew Garfield back. Because obviously he looks a bit younger than he actually is. You wouldn't think he's like 38. You wouldn't think that. But he was 27, wasn't he, in the first Amazing Spider-Man? He was playing a 17-year-old. And he looked it. So, he's definitely... I'd be up for seeing him be Spider-Man again. After that, I was like, yeah, he is a great Spider-Man. All three of them are great. They're all great. If you're playing Spider-Man and they've went through hundreds of people, thousands auditioning, and they've picked you, you're probably good. You know, they've probably seen something. You probably did something right better than everybody else, so you probably are a good Spider-Man. But yeah, in fact, it was such a good movie. I went back and I played the PS4 game again for the first time in like 3 years, and that is great as well. That's how much of a Spider-Man fan it made me. I went back to that game and I was like, I love him. I love Spider-Man again after that. And as I said, it felt like a moment Spider-Man just turned up to the cinema, full guns blazing. It was like, I see your Avengers. I'll take them all in my solo movie at the box office. And he's done that. He's doing that. Yeah, it's like well over $1 billion already. Yeah, it's the first movie since COVID to hit $1 billion at the box office. Bond didn't do it. Godzilla didn't do it. Spider-Man's done it. So that tells you. You've got James Bond, massive film history. Is he? Massive film history. And he didn't get near $1 billion. And things are more opened up when he came out than now. You know, obviously Omicron and stuff. So that tells you. So all those times back in the day, you're watching James Bond, and I'm sitting there talking about Spider-Man, I get totally shush. Who's the best now? I always knew he was the best. And now it's fact. Now he's biggest, he's the best. Is there an argument that Spider-Man is the biggest, most successful independent solo character ever created? Could you make that... Because you've got Star Wars that could take on Spider-Man. But how many characters are in Star Wars? Could a Luke Skywalker movie... Could that take on a Spider-Man movie at the box office if they both went all out? It could, but who would win that? That's what I'm saying. How big is Spider-Man, really? He's at another level. He's another level. Another level of success. You know, you have to get your biggest... You need to get all the Avengers together to try and keep up with them in sales. And I'm not saying it'll catch Avengers, but it's pretty close, you know? It's pretty close. It beat Infinity War's opening weekend in America. So it's the second biggest ever in America, behind Endgame. And we're in a freaking pandemic. Madness. Absolutely incredible stuff. Well done, Spider-Man. Well done, Sony. Well done, everyone. Yous are great. More of that, please. We need more Spider-Man. In fact, you could end it there. That's the perfect ending. You never have to do it again. Although you have to, because money. But if you just ended it there, I'd be like, yeah, I'm happy with that. You got the perfect suit at the end, swung away. He became Spider-Man at the end. He made the ultimate sacrifice. Perfect stuff. Perfect stuff, I tell you. Absolutely spectacular. But yes, fantastic. Well done, guys. And I think the thing that... There was stakes in this movie. You know what I mean? There was stakes. There was things going wrong for Peter Parker, and he had to make the hard choice, and he totally beat Doctor Strange in that fight as well. He totally did. He got wrecked, did Doctor Strange. Loved it. Ha ha. Now, I like Doctor Strange, I always have, but he was always the character in a Hulk comic that would turn up and just be like, haha, zap, and stops the Hulk, and I thought it was too easy, and it just annoyed me all the time how easy he just, magic, stopped him. So watching my other favourite Marvel character humiliate him and trap him in his webs in his own mirror dimension for 12 hours, that was great. Finally watching Doctor Strange get done. For the Hulk, for the Hulk. All those times, like the Thing comics, he'd turn up and be like, hey, Thing, it's alright, Zap, got him. That's the Hulk, frozen in time. Shocking that. But Spider-Man got him. Finally. Waited my whole life for that, and he finally got him. Unbelievable. But yes, what else happened in Spider-Man? He had to make the hard choice at the end, guys. It was a difficult choice. He was like, everyone must forget about me, who Peter Parker is, to like save the universe, the multiverse. And he did it. And he's like, right, yous all forget who I am. And he does it. Even Doctor Strange is like, what? You can't do that. And he's like, yeah, I can. I'm Spider-Man. That's the point. And he swings away and they all forget who he is. Perfect ending. That's the whole point. He's going to make the choice that protects everybody over himself. He'll take the hard choice. Peter Parker's life is supposed to suck, right? It's supposed to be the worst life ever. And he gets up and he be Spider-Man anyway. It's the whole point of it, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, how hard can that be? Right? That's all we want. That's all we want. All we want is Spider-Man making the hard call at the end. And you finally gave us it. It took you 7 years or something, Marvel and Disney. And you finally did it. You gave us the hard call. And he did it. And he saved the day by sacrificing himself. How good is that? I like that. Thank you very much. You're very nice. Well done, Feige. Well done, everybody. Yes, he makes the choice at the end. He's like, right, forget about who I am and you'll all be safe. Forget about who I am, you're all saved. And he does that. And he smashes it. And it's fantastic. And it's sad. It's a sad movie. And he does it anyway. But it's not sad. It's sad as if, yeah, Peter Parker, poor life. But it's great because we finally get the real Spider-Man at the end. He finally becomes Spider-Man. He swings away. And to turn up in Hawkeye, ha ha ha, only joking, he did not. He lives about 3 streets away. And he didn't turn up to save the day. Nah, I'm calling. Everyone's saying that now. See what happens? You make one perfect Spider-Man movie and everyone wants Spider-Man to turn up in every Marvel project ever. Do you know why that is? Because Spider-Man is the best. Okay, he's number one. And that's what they did in the comics. You want a new character? Put him in a Marvel team up with Spider-Man. Or put him in a Hulk comic. That's it. That's how you're doing it. That's how you're getting your character up and famous. But yes, it's absolutely fantastic. Do you know what? I'm ending the episode there. That's it. I've had enough. I'm bored now. Right. Have a nice day. Enjoy your weekend. What day is it? No, it's Monday. Enjoy your day and that. Right. Bye-bye. See ya. I'll probably have a guest at some point. I don't know.